Hello everybody and welcome to part 3 of our record collection. In this part we're going to be looking at our soundtracks.
Some pop.
And jazz. I think that's it.
Yeah, sort of a mix of everything that we've got.
Yeah. So, first we're going to look at our soundtracks.
First up, I've got for the 5-year anniversary of Rainbow Six Siege, I've got the game soundtrack, and it is, one record is white and the other is black. And it came with an art card with, if you've played the game, all of the operators that were released at the time.
First one for me is Encanto. So, it is just on a plain black. This soundtrack is so good.
The Old Faithful, the Minecraft soundtrack. It's a must-have in every record collection. Got it on a nice green pressing there. Just a great soundtrack. Everyone knows. Chicken Jockey.
That's staying in.
No.
Release. I got this one for Christmas from my youngest sister, and that is New Moon. And it's on a gorgeous gold pressing. I need to get the first one now.
Now, my last one that I've got is the Risk of Rain 2 soundtrack. And if you've ever played any Risk of Rain game, you know the soundtracks are phenomenal. They are some of the best soundtracks in games. And this is a 3 LP, and it comes with a split art design that just increases as you open it up. And the pressing on this one is a black with glitter, which is just, it's such an awesome pressing. And I'll see if the camera will pick it up. You can see it's supposed to look like stars in outer space.
That one is gorge.
It is one of my favorite records.
And the last one for me is my favorite soundtrack that I have right now, and that is the Wonka soundtrack. And one is on a white chocolate pressing, and then the other one is like a milk chocolate color. And it is, if you haven't seen this movie, get on it because it is a great movie.
And the soundtrack bangs.
So this year we actually tried to make an effort to get more of a few things. One of them being 7 inches, which we
got another video for those.
Yep. And the other one was soundtracks because we didn't have very many, and we still don't have very many, but we've definitely expanded the collection, so we're happy with that. And you'll have to wait to see it grow, I guess. So this cube that we're going through is a bit of a mishmash of a lot of different stuff. So we are going to just see how this goes. We have a little bit of a plan, but we're going to start with a one-off.
This is the only classical record we've got here. It's just Richard Clayderman with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra playing an assortment of classical standards. But Richard Clayderman, I got this because my mum used to play Richard Clayderman songs on the piano for us when we were just little whippersnappers. And yeah, so I got this for her. Next I've got, we'll sort of transition into jazz. I'll start off with, we've got a couple from Louis Armstrong. This one is Louis Armstrong meets Oscar Peterson. Obviously two of the best jazz players on their own instruments, Oscar Peterson on the piano and Louis on the trumpet and vocals. This is an amazing album for anyone who is a fan of jazz.
And we have Ella and Louie. I really love that we have this because my mum used to play Ella Fitzgerald for us a lot when I was growing up as well. So, good album.
Next up I've got a couple of Stan Getz collaborations. This is a compilation of Stan Getz's projects just because I could not get the I think it's Jazz Samba Encore album, which is the collaboration between Stan Getz and Louis Sponfar. But there was a couple of songs from it on this record that I really wanted to get, so I got that one. And then obviously Stan Getz and João Gilberto. This is probably one of the most famous bossa nova, if not the most famous bossa nova albums of all time, featuring obviously the girl from Ipanema. But my personal favorite is actually Corcovado, and if you enjoy Girl from Ipanema, you should definitely check out more of this album if you haven't already, and all of Stan Getz's discography, and so many Brazilian musicians. Luis Bonfá is my favorite, but his records are near impossible to get on vinyl.
Earth, Wind and Fire. This is the Ultimate Collection. It is on a yellow pressing, I believe, and obviously it's got the bangers Boogie Wonderland, Let's Groove, September. Good album.
Next I've got another just classic jazz, Charlie Parker. If you know jazz, you know Charlie Parker. It's basically it. Had to pick up a record of his of some description. And then I follow along with that with Tower of Power, who are sort of getting more towards soul as it transitioned out of jazz. Bit of bebop, soul kind of. This is an amazing album. I can't recommend it more. What is Hip, Clever Girl, This Time Is Real, just every track after track, they are great.
We have Miss Olivia Dean and her album Messy. Honestly, no skips on this album. And the live album, this is live at Eventum Apollo, and so good. Love this album.
And if you go on Spotify or whatever, wherever you stream your music, the released version doesn't have all the tracks that the vinyl has. So if you're a vinyl collector and you like Olivia Dean, definitely pick up that record because there are unreleased tracks on it that are great. Next we're going sort of back to the old school Gap Band, you know, outstanding.
Outstanding.
Bit of a pun there. And then we'll go to a New Zealand band who I personally have performed with a couple of times, opening for them, and they opened for a band that I play in. This is Revolver's self-titled album, and if you like funk, jazz, pop, genre-bending, phenomenal musicians, check this album out. This is awesome. Yeah, that's the band there, and they are all the loveliest people. And then to wrap up the sort of jazz, we're now moving into more electronic jazz. This is sort of like jazz house. I randomly stumbled across this guy on Instagram called Berlioz. Not Berlioz as in years and years and like decades ago Berlioz. This dude releases some of the coolest music I've ever heard. And I've got both the Jazzes for Ordinary People EP and his album, but first this one here, which he signed on the back just there, and this is on I think it's like he called it like crayon purple something funny, and it's all recycled vinyl. It's an awesome pressing, and then yeah, same with the album. This one I've also got it signed on the back just there, and this is on another recycled, very interesting pastel pressing. And yeah, can't recommend this music to enough people. Every person I recommend music to, this is my number one.
I do quite enjoy Berlioz. I think his music's really, like, it's different.
It's really interesting,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
But like in a good way.
So, and next up, I've got a pretty large collection of Laufey. She is one of my favorite musicians right now. Starting from the beginning, typical of me, just on black. That's her first release, the Everything I Know About Love album. And so I've got Bewitched on a silver pressing there, the Goddess edition on a nice blue pressing, two versions of that one. There's another one, and I'll go more in depth to this in another video, I think, because if I go into them all, we'll be here all day. Goddess Edition, the coffee table box set, and that's pretty cool as well. Record Store Day last year, I believe, she released A Night at the Symphony with the Iceland Symphony Orchestra, live at the Hollywood Bowl, Another Night at the Symphony. Valentine numbered 1 of 5,000. Half and half split heart there as well. Another version of Bewitched. This was for Halloween last year this came out. It was the Stormy edition, and I will quickly pull out this pressing because this could be the coolest pressing that I have, period. It is a picture disc of a beautiful artwork.
So first we have 660, the gold album. These all are just self-titled albums from the looks of it. So I will just go through them really quick. And then we have this one, and then this one. This one is probably my favorite one, if I'm honest.
Next up, I've just got a one-off. I've got Mac DeMarco 2. This is one of the earlier records I ever got. But yeah, love Mac DeMarco and would love to get a bit more of his music. But for now, that's all I've got.
Now we have two versions of Charli XCX's Crash. So this one is just on plain black. We also have this one on like a maroon, what did they call it? Limited edition red and black marbled disc.
I'll rip through a few. I've got another one of my dad's. If you watched the last video, I've got a few of his. This is Simple Minds, Alive and Kicking. Then I've got a awesome New Zealand album. If you're from New Zealand, you'll recognise this pretty much immediately. It is the Waiata Anthems album, and this was released for Māori Language Week 2019. It was quite a while ago now, but they just repressed it for Māori Language Week last year, and yeah, it's just got a bunch of popular New Zealand musicians' biggest songs, and then they re-released them with the lyrics in Māori, and it is a great listen. Next up, another one off, I've got Tame Impala's Lonerism, Management, Oracular, Spectacular. Then another New Zealand band, although you may have heard of these guys if you are overseas, because they're bigger overseas than they are here in New Zealand, is Leisure with their album Sunsetter. And just sort of chill R&B sort of vibes. These guys make awesome music. A bit of Dua Lipa. It's an alternate cover of Future Nostalgia. It is titled the Moonlight Edition. And another, I'll do a few more, just rip through them. Lime Cordial, Falling Up the Stairs. These guys are an Aussie band. I got the pleasure to work with these guys. I did an LED screen work for them at their show at the Dunedin Town Hall here, and that was a lot of fun. They're super nice and make super cool music, sort of that surfy indie rock that's very popular in Australia. And then we've got a couple of New Zealand artists again. We've got LAB5, and then another very versatile New Zealand artist is Troy Kingi, and this is The Ghost of Freddie Caesar by Troy Kingi and the Clutch.
So we're going to get into the Brat territory now. So first we have the remix album, Brat, and it's completely different but also still Brat. And this one is quite a cool one. So it opens up like that, and I will take one of the discs out just to show the colour, but I think we'll do a video of these as well because there's so many cool things in them. So it's just a milky clear. This album is probably one of our cooler ones because this is the only release of this album, because the complete original album and the remix album, and we had to stay up, or I didn't, he had to stay up until 1 AM to get this, and luckily did, because I'm pretty sure in the morning
It was sold out.
sold out. Next we have Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not. This is just on a white pressing. The last one we have in the Brat, well, we actually do have another one that we ordered that is at our friend's house we need to pick up. We have the Laneway exclusive version of Brat as well that has the original cover but a really cool glittery pressing.
Yeah.
So at some point we'll get that as well. But lastly, we have the red version of Brat on
one of
picture disc.
3,500, I believe.
One of 3,500. So that one is also quite a cool one.
Got a couple more one-offs. I've got Rico and his band. It's reggae, ska, coolness. And then another New Zealand artist, the Stella and Steve and Fire on Mars EPs by Benny. And she has made it worldwide, basically.
I have a few more. Surprisingly, we only have one Ariana Grande album, and that is My Everything. This one is not the 10-year anniversary one, it's just a, I'm not even sure, we bought it from Marketplace, but this is just an iconic album, so we had to get it. We would love to get more Ariana Grande. I honestly want to get like all of them.
But man, it's expensive.
And also the variants now. I'm a little bit of a variant collector, and I feel like for that, her most recent album, I would have to variant collect. And so the last ones I have here are 2 Bruno Mars albums. I want to get Doo-Wops and Hooligans. We don't have that yet, but we do have Unorthodox Jukebox and 24 Karat Magic. So,
and then to finish it up, we've got my Jungle collection. Not Jungle the genre, Jungle the artist. Starting off with their self-titled album. Yeah, and you'll notice all of their covers are essentially the same, but just with different color schemes, and that's sort of the theme for all the albums, which is really cool. I found these guys when I was playing FIFA 14 when I was a kid. The song Busy Earnin' was on there, and ever since I heard that song I've been a massive fan. Yeah, so it started off with their self-titled album, and then following along from that, their next release, Forever, has Casio, which is probably their most famous song, I think. But my favourite is Beat 54, All Good Now. And the next release after that was the Loving in Stereo album, which has so many great songs on it as well. Keep Moving's on there, All of the Time is one of my favourites as well. Yeah, all of their albums are just great if you enjoy that style of music. And then finally, this is possibly the rarest record we own, I think. This was their most recent album, Volcano. When it came out, I got it signed by the artist, the two dudes who started Jungle back in years ago, about a decade, over a decade ago now. They signed the jacket, and it's on a split orange and white pressing, and that pressing was already limited to like 1,000 copies or something at the time of release, and then got it signed, so very, very hard to come by. So yeah, this is one of my prized possessions, and you'll probably see it in the background of a lot of videos because it sits displayed there normally.
and that was part 3 of our record collection. So there's one more part, and that is our hip hop and R&B kind of section. So yeah, subscribe to see that at some point, and I hope you enjoyed this video.